Hi there. Last time we were talking about how we keep in mind that we are the goal, and that series, in that series, we are working on thought which is very important, which is about loving ourselves. Now, loving ourselves. Today, we're going to talk about. How we create this love for ourselves. That is very important, because it's easy to say love yourself, and we think we are trying to love ourselves by taking care of ourselves by eating and sleeping and whatever outside activity, but that's just on the periphery. But inside, we have to create this love. For that, first of all, we will have to weed out, like a gardener who takes away all the weeds so that the plants grow very nicely. We'll have to weed out lot of things in our thought process, in our psyche, which are embedded deep down, and they're so embedded. Sometimes they have gone into our I would say even to our DNA, or they have gone into they become knots. They've become our tendencies, they've become our nature. So we'll have to reflect on all these things and take out those weeds to create that space, that loving space for ourselves, because that is the only way we can make our lives more blissful, more beautiful, and we can give back to people. So in that, one thing very important aspect, which is that we should never ever put ourselves down. We all do that. Of course, we reflect, which is very important. I always talk about self-improvement. Very important. We have to analyze who we are, what are tendencies. If we are lucky enough to do that, that also is very difficult. But if we are lucky enough, we should definitely find out, and we come to know. If we are honest with ourselves and we want to work on ourselves, we come to know what our shortcomings are. But what I'm here trying to make a point is that once you know these things, whether it is your habits, whether it is your tendencies, whether it is your, could be even your, the way you've been brought up, the way you look, your physicality, so many aspects. I would say few things you can bring a change. Lot of things actually I feel you can bring a change. And once you bring those changes, you will see the other things that are constant will definitely start looking different. Like a lot of people, they say that, I don't look a certain way, or I wish I was a blonde, I wish I was fair. Some say, I wish I had a tan skin, I was this, I was that. These, I think, are things that we pick up from outside. Once we start loving ourselves and have more confidence and feel more complete inside, these attributes will actually, these things will not bother us. Actually, the way we are will really resonate. I see a lot of, give you an example, I see a lot of actors in films, and if you see them in personal life or even on the screen, they're not the best looking guys. I'm into media, I'm into acting, and a lot of times when I'm entering a studio, I see people standing in front of the studio, they just want to go inside. And when I look at them and I say, wow man, these people are much more talented. They look very good, and they must be more talented, and they're doing so many things, but they're still standing outside. I feel grateful. And when I go inside, the scene changes. I see a lot of very successful people who actually you would not even give a second look. And they are hotshot actors, whether it is Hollywood or it is Bollywood or anywhere. They're very, you would probably just pass by them and not look at them. But they are superstars. So they must be having something special. They must have worked on themselves to take their self-esteem to such a level where they transcended all these shortcomings. and became superstars in their life. And we all are superstars in making. It's just a matter of realizing who we are and our potential, and taking out those weeds. Again, the one of the weeds that I feel is we put ourselves down too much. Once we know, I personally with myself, I used to do that a lot, because once I come to know there is some problem, I used to put myself down inside. Whatever I talk in these videos is not something that I've seen or just seen or read, or something that I feel and I've experimented on myself, and I have a little bit of realization by the mercy. That is what I'm sharing with you. So I used to put myself down. I still do sometimes, and then I'm on my guard. I immediately correct that, because if I put myself down too much, I will not be able to change myself. The change can only happen with love. I'll have to go easy with myself, like we should go easy with other people around us, because they are also not perfect, and we cannot change them. First of all, the only thing we can change is ourselves. So we will have to, first of all, not become too critical and too harsh with ourselves. We'll have to create a loving space where, after knowing and realizing what are shortcomings, work on them without lowering our self-esteem. I mean, give yourself it's a project. Give yourself a time and say, okay, I know this is wrong with me, but that's okay. That's part of me. I'll work on it. Once you have the realization that is something is something can be worked upon with love, 50% will be gone right away, because you are embracing this thought of positive change. That is so powerful. And also, don't get into this loop of that something must be wrong with me. Oh, this not happen. Something must be wrong with me. We say all this because a lot of times, and most of us, 99, I would say 100%, we come from childhood. We live with people, for heaven's sakes. We don't live with perfect human beings. There is no perfect human being. I always repeat that. And we should not strive for perfection. Perfection is an illusion. It is the imperfection that is so beautiful. And because we all are unique. And we live with these unique people in our families, in our, as siblings, and as mother, as father, as grandfather, and as daughter, and wife, and husband. And yes, it's a journey. And we meet these unique people. And the experiences we have from childhood, they create, we create pain, we create fear, we create anger, which we have created, because they start influencing our thought. We should immediately, as of today, because today is what is shaping our tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no yesterday. Today. So today we have a loving, positive affirmation that I'm going to make these changes no matter what. We all have had journeys. We have to learn to, in our minds, not become burdened by the history. It's a journey, and we should forgive people. We should understand they are also evolving, and they have not done anything to us purposely, because they were meant to play that role. I always feel life is like a play. I'm an actor, and I know how it is when I go on the set or when I do theater. I get the script, and in theater we get the script before, so we prepare everything. But even then, while we are performing on the stage, it's very moment to moment. And it's all, and we know that, it's a play. Somebody will be angry, somebody will abuse, somebody will die, somebody will curse. So life is also a play of the divine. We should not blame people. They have come to execute our thought process, our so-called destiny that we created because of those thoughts and conditionings and tendencies. Now we are facing that we created. Now it has become today. But today, at least, I can make that affirmation to myself that I will, the next time my script is happening tomorrow or in an hour or whenever, I'm going to write that script nicely. And I'll play my part best no matter who those actors are, because those actors have just been put there to finish my script. It is my script. I made it. We blame people. So we'll have to come out of blame for others and even more important, blame for ourselves. Don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself, because we are evolving. We don't know. We are learning, like my father and mother, they were learning. When we are living with people, we realize that while I was evolving, so was my father, so was my mother, my grandmother, my grandma. Everybody is evolving. You have to have the space in which you can forgive. Not forgive is also, I feel it has ego in it. When you say I forgive you, that means you have the ego of you are somebody higher. I say, instead of forgiving, lovingly accept. That's what it should be. Not even forgiving. Somebody does something, loving, and that lovingly acceptance will come into you and into us. And that, I'm talking about myself, whenever that happens, I bring that loving acceptance. And I bring watching. And I understand that this is a leela. Leela is, we call in Hindi, it means a play. It's a leela. Why am I overreacting to it? And then also, if it is something that is, whether it is your thought or something from outside which is being inflicted, turn that thought not towards fear, not towards darkness, turn it towards light. Take that thought and or even some action of a person or something that has happened, some event, turn it towards something very beautiful. I personally, I believe in, I love Krishna. It's a divine. You can call it Jesus, you can call it Allah, or you can call it any messenger, or even a saint, or whatever you feel, or a beautiful image of something that turn it to that. Turn it to that. And you're all that, because thought is a pattern. One thought will create other thought. And then it becomes a reservoir of negative thoughts. Then it is difficult to get out of it. Then you are part of it. But when it starts coming, just replace it immediately as a practice. Take it towards something very positive and surrender. Positive surrender. And you will see that because of that, first you stop that chain. Like we are trying to stop this chain of this pandemic. You have to stop, otherwise it is going everywhere. You can't see it, but it is there. Same are thoughts. Thoughts are pandemic. It's a virus. And it's from lifetimes, not just one life. It is creating more and more disease in us. So we have to stop the chain. And how you stop the chain is by watching it as soon as it is happening, the blame game, the curse, the problem, whether it is from outside or whether it is coming from inner voice, just tell it, no, I'm not going to entertain negativity. Surrender it to something very positive and beautiful. I sometimes even see an image of Radha and Krishna, and I bow in front of them on their lotus feet. You can think of a beautiful mountain, sun is rising. Yes, that is also a picture of divine. Whichever thing that puts you at ease, and you will suddenly see that by not entertaining those thoughts, you break the pattern every time, and there is no more weeds, less weeds. So you'll have more loving energy all around you. And then, we all have a role to play. So don't try to become perfect. Just go with the flow, enjoy life, and make yourself the goal, which is the most important thing. Create love, create bliss. Next time, we're going to go to another point and work on that. Thank you. Good day.